Hey guys, how's it going? This is just a little update on the RCA R7A. As you can see, I got the filter capacitor can off. That was a heck of a job trying to get that off because it's in these holes right here, and I had a heck of a time getting on these tabs to bend them up. What I ended up doing was I took these needle nose vice grips and I kind of had to like work it a little bit, and then for the other ones that were on the bottom, I had to take a flathead screwdriver and like go through this hole here and with a hammer and just pound them till I got them bent enough that I could get it out. So I kind of just labeled all the wires like what color they're supposed to be, because as you can see, the red wire is like brown now, yellow is like a brownish color, but everything is labeled. So I went ahead and made this monstrosity. It's got all the new capacitors on it, all labeled and with the approximate colors of the original wires. So all I got to do to hook them up is just refer to this here, and also just replace them one at a time. Like, the black wire obviously goes to the ground. It's that one. And then this one here, these ones were the 0.005, the black and red, but I couldn't make a black and red wire, so I just stuck with black and I labeled them both like that. Hopefully this thing fits in here, because the way I made it, it's a little thick. But it looks like I can just barely squeeze it in there. If not, I'm going to have major problems. I might have to totally remake that. But the board that I got was kind of smallish. It was smaller than I thought it was going to be. I should have gotten a little bit wider, longer board to fit in there. But it's kind of hard when you're shopping on eBay and you can't just go to Radio Shack and just size it up, because it's hard for me to shop online like that. But because I'd rather just have the items in my hand than trying to measure it, by measurements. But anyway, I think I did a pretty good job. Everything's all labeled. So I just got to get that out of here and then put this in here. I'm going to have all these wires go in one direction and then zip tie them at the end. And if I can fit it, I'll put some cardboard around this and then just get it in there, put this back and fish the wires through, and then just one at a time replace every one of those wires and wire them up in there, and then that will be done. And that's the hard part. Then I got to deal with the filter capacitors, and then this thing should work. I also have a couple of out of tolerance resistors I want to replace. There's another guy on YouTube that worked on one of these, but he completely took this off. And I try not to, I don't like to disassemble mine. I try to minimally disassemble it as little as possible, because, I'll forget how it went back together. So I think I can manage to replace the resistors without taking this board out, because there's so many wires. I'll end up getting them all confused if I don't draw out like a detailed thing, and I might have to end up doing that. I don't know yet, but we'll tackle that when we come to it. But I just thought I'd film that little update, and probably not going to work on this anymore today. I did all this yesterday, but definitely the hardest part was getting these tabs bent. That took me a week to figure out a way to do that. So if I have another part to this, I'll add that to this part of the video. I thought I'd do a little update on the shop as well. I've been watching old 64 Goats videos, and he's got shelves upon shelves everywhere. So, I built more shelves here, but I still need more shelves, because as you can see, there's clutter everywhere. And I used to have a shelf up there, but it was really flimsy, and I decided to take it down. But I definitely got to put more shelves up. I could probably put another shelf here, but I don't want to put them too close to the heater. What I could do is move this one up and then put another one there. I could do that too. But I definitely need more shelf space in here. And I also want to insulate that. I can't put like full insulation in there because then the window frame hits it. So I'm thinking of getting some styrofoam and putting it up there. And then just closing that in with some 1/4-inch Luan like I got the rest of the shop. And that'll save my heat a little bit because that's like almost like having an open window right there because that's just the outer siding of the garage. So once I get that sealed up, it'll stay a little bit warmer in here. But yeah, I could even put shelves there. You know, just have more storage space. That's what I need because I've got all this stuff. I did manage to cram some more stuff under the bench. So at least my floor space is a little bit better. But I still need to, like, in here, I should build, like, more shelves under there, too. Because I have the plywood to do it. I just got to get around to doing it. I'll wait for a little bit warmer weather because it's still a little chilly out. I don't know if I ever showed this. This is my new soldering station. Oops. See, that's my problem. I got stuff everywhere. That's my new soldering station. It's got the heat gun for surface mounted components. And nice little soldering iron. And that's my light. That works really nice. Especially for getting small circuit boards and stuff. You can use the magnifying glass. But yeah, there's my Tektronix 465. I'm going to be getting like 2 more of these from Old 64 Go, and depending on how they work, like if he's got one that works better than this one, because this one's got some issues, I might use that and then use this one for parts. Who knows? And my resistance capacitance thing is like half taken apart because I was going to recap it, and then I got sidetracked with other projects like that and this and this and now this. I've got and that too. So I've got like 5 other projects in here. Actually 6, 7. I've got tons of projects that I'm like halfway 8 completed. And I run into like a stumbling block, and then I just stop and move on to the next thing. That's always how I've always been that way. This is my vintage Game Gear that I've had since 1993 or 94. It doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't power up. I don't know why. So, because I mean it's getting battery voltage, but it doesn't power up. And then I've got my Talkboy here. I got it. Where did I get this? Toys R Us, I think, back in like the 90s. That's pretty cool. It's not as good a quality as I had expected when I got it. It's a little dirty too, but I used to walk around with a little micro cassette recorder, and those were a lot more better quality than this, but it's still cool to have that. So anyway, that's a little shop update for you guys. It is a work in progress, and I usually use this bench here to work on small engine stuff, but the radio stuff has taken over the entire shop right now. Anyway. Alright, so I'm going to see if I can get that out now. I got my heat gun here. It feels like I could almost pull this out. Almost pull it out without heating it, but we're going to heat it. Actually, I should take this cardboard off first. Alright, I'll mess with that a little later. I'm going to try to heat that up and pull it out. Blow dry your beard, Uncle Dorkle? I don't think so. Let's see if I can pull that out. Let's see. Nope. I gotta heat that some more. I'm gonna have to shut this off. I need both hands. Well, I've been heating this up for about 10 minutes and it's like I can't even touch it. It's so hot and it's still not coming out. So I'm gonna have to use a blowtorch or something. Alright, well I finally got this out. I had to heat it up with a blowtorch till it was smoking and like the tar was all bubbling and stuff. I finally managed to get it out. The heat gun just wasn't enough. Just didn't cut it. That took a lot of heat to get out of there. The other guy that's restoring one of these, or that did restore one of these, he said all he did was heat it up with a lighter a little bit and it pops right out. This thing was way, way harder. Alright, so I got that in there. Just barely fit in here. I actually had to bend this out a little bit to get it to fit in there. But I got it in. So now I'm just going to kind of maybe squeeze this back together a little bit and get it mounted back on the chassis. Alright, the last thing I'm going to do before I call it quits for the day is decided to paint the transformer on the chassis because I'm not going to take it off there because the wiring is looking pretty good, so I'm not going to mess with it. So, just going to give it a quick little coat of paint. The top of it, I already painted, it's over there. So, here we go. There, that'll be good. Oh, not even showing what I'm doing. There we go. That's all it needs. So I'm going to call this quits for the night and put these parts up, and then I got to go buy some more navel jelly because I got rusted stuff up here that I got to take care of. Then I'll probably paint the chassis. I might take the capacitor block back out because I want to paint it, and I stuffed all the wires in there already, but I can just pull them back out and paint it and then stuff them back in there. So that's how far I've gotten so far. This was filmed over several days, about a week or more. So thanks for watching.